here's the problem. Verse 14, they said, we have a loaf of bread. Then when you look at verse 16, they said we have no bread. Verse 14, they had a loaf of bread. Verse 16, they called that same loaf of bread no bread. Jesus fed them, gave them 7 full baskets of bread. They are now headed back home. The bread he gave them was a blessing. But because it's a loaf of bread, they called their blessing nothing. They made a mistake by judging their bread based on the size of it. As long as it was a basket full of bread, then it was bread. But now I'm down to one loaf. It's nothing. What they don't realize is a blessing, whether it's a loaf of bread or a basket full of bread. It was a slap in the face to Jesus, because he's sitting on the boat with them and he's mad and upset when they call the loaf nothing. Let me tell you something. I don't care if God gave you $2 instead of $200. That $2 is still a blessing. I don't care if God gave you a 1-bedroom apartment when you pray for 4 bedrooms. That 1 bedroom is still a blessing. And it's a slap in the face when we call our blessing nothing because of the size of it. They looked at the loaf, and because it wasn't a basket, they said it's nothing. And God is saying, I'm testing you to see how you handle your loaf. If you can't handle your loaf, you will never get the full basket. Your marriage may be on a loaf level, and you praying for it to be on a basket level. But until, watch this, you can still love them in the midst of it all. A man doesn't want a woman that'll put him down, and a woman don't want a man that'll beat them all the time. Until you can learn how to treat each other, you will never have a basket marriage. Until you can learn how to cook for him mad. Until you can learn, men, how to cut the grass when you don't like her. Until you can learn how to treat the loaf right, you will never have a basket. Watch this. Because when you call it nothing, you treat it like nothing. And God is saying, even though it may be small to you, it's still a blessing.